Hey, I'm back. I'm here to help you. This is the assessment. This is the balance assessment. If you haven't watched my previous video, please do, where I entreat you to please learn balance, agility, mobility, and strength in order to prevent falls. So this is specifically on the topic of preventing falls. We will cover other topics that have to do with the strength it takes to when you do fall in order to avoid injury and getting up off the floor. Please never be a person who is afraid to walk around because your balance is terrible. So you must learn to balance. You must learn to maintain your balance. You can't take it for granted as you age, and you also cannot accept frailty as you age. So I am out here because this is where the beam is, and I'm going to show you the assessment tool that I would use. You need two people, so you need another person with you. And I'm going to stand to the side of the beam in order to show you, but really you'll be right here on the beam, but you can't see me from here. So I'm going to be to the side a little bit so you can see me, but really you need to be right behind the beam for the assessment. So let's just say I am behind the beam. When you do your assessment, you're going to work on one leg balance, and then you're going to work on another leg balance. The person with you is going to start the timer. So as soon as you lift your leg, they'll start the timer. Lift your leg and pull your hands away, and I'll explain that in a second. They're going to start the timer. So when you lift your leg, you're going to start with your hands on the beam, gripping the beam. You do not want to have no hands on the beam when you lift your leg. I would like you to have your hands on the beam when you lift your leg. When you lift your leg, you're only going to lift it a little bit off the ground. So not even as high as maybe a yoga block. There are a couple reasons for this. First of all, if you lose your balance, there's less distance to go than if you were to lift your leg up high in any way, up higher off the ground. So it's just going to be a little bit off the ground. The other reason is because normally people with poor balance will have a weak hip, and so they'll be doing this with their hip. As soon as the leg comes up, they'll do this, and that sets you up to lose for the best training for one, but also for the best assessment. So you're just going to barely lift your leg here, and then as soon as your leg is up, then you'll just barely keep your hands off of the beam. You're never going to drop your hands. You're never going to pull them away. They're going to be right here. The whole reason for that is because we want to avoid a fall. So that's our primary goal in this whole thing, is we don't want to fall. So the first thing is you grip, lift the leg, then pull the hands away. And as soon as the hands touch, even a tap, that clock stops. Even a tap, that clock stops. Give yourself 3 tries for that. Each leg, take your best time. Don't average the time, just take your best time. So that's going to be your first assessment. And that'll be a static balance assessment. I'm not going to show you dynamic balance assessments. So the difference is static is just staying still, doing nothing besides just standing there. Dynamic is through movement. But we are going to do a lot of balance routines, balance practices that are dynamic, because they would be a little more functional than static. The static balance does help with the strength building. Well, they both do, but anyway, they're both necessary. So do that assessment for me. Let me know how it goes, and we will continue our training for gaining balance. Just want to do this note. I mentioned to a friend, she said, how can I avoid this type of fall? And I said, well, lunges, squats, step ups, those kind of things. And I just want to tell you, please do not do lunges or step ups if your balance is terrible. You must not do that. I have methods to help you gain the strength, so you can do the functional things such as lunging and step ups. But I'm going to show you those things that you're going to do, so you train in the comfort of your home, in the what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, in a safe place in your home, so then when you're out in the world, it becomes becomes easier for you to do when you're out in the world. But don't try lunges and step ups until your balance is good. Okay. I will talk to you soon.